Hello guys, let's have a look at how my swing trading week has gone. These are all the trade that I took. So we had a stop loss here on USD CHF. We had two unfilled trade here on EuroCAD. We had a take profit on GBP USD, a take profit on GBP CAD, a take profit and a stop loss on GBP USD, and this one's been unfilled as well as this one. So how I've been able to hit those trades is very simple. I use a systematic approach that basically combine fundamental analysis, okay, fundamental plus simple market structure. So what I do every weekend, I come to my built-in software called Full Scoring Metrics, and I have a look at the big player moves of the past week. And as you can see here, I have a list of all the assets that could be tradable for the following week. This is, for example, the last update of the software. So yeah, we have a score that tells us which direction is the asset likely to have for the following week based on macro and fundamental analysis. So for example, the trend, seasonality, COT report, crowd sentiment, and all the economic growth, inflation, and jobs market analysis. So what I do each weekend, I came here, give a look at all the assets that this Full Scoring Metrics is telling me. Of course, not each week is does have all of these assets. This week, for example, we have a lot of potential assets. And I look at my Full Scoring Metrics, and I look also at the COT report. For example, this is the latest COT report, and this is the latest change in contract on each asset. For example, we can clearly see that we have a really strong GBP because last week, institution removed 10,000 contracts from the short side and added 66,000 contract on the long side. So that means the GBP is very likely, if it keeps going to the trend, to be extremely bullish. So you can pair, for example, GBP with a short asset. And for example, if we come here, we can see AUD, they removed 3,000 long contract and added 2,000 short contract. So we have a really strong GBP and a really weak AUD. So for example, GBP AUD could be a bullish trending asset. So I do this for each and every asset. And if I then come to my Full Scoring Metrics, as you can see here, for example, GBP AUD is very bullish. We have a +7. We have the trend that is confluent. We have the seasonality that is not confluent, but add all the rest, like for example the COT, as you can see here, GBP is confluent. That's a really strong point in favor. So what I do next, again, fundamental plus market structure. So that's how I analyze my fundamental. I use my built-in software, but you can do this by yourself. Or if you're interested, you can join my community and find here the Full Scoring Metrics. I then come to the chart, like this one, and simply add it to my watch list. Okay, so GBP I added it to my watch list. GBP was bullish since last week. Okay, as you can see here, I catch this trade. So we've seen the fundamental side of my strategy, and once I know which direction asset should have, I then look at market structure. Okay, how do I analyze my market structure? I try to have a really systematic approach, and I usually do the 4-hour daily chart, sometimes in the minutes, but I'll explain that to you later. What I do is I come here. As you can see, I have a fully built-in indicator that tells me latest market movement and automatically draws a Fibonacci, break structure, liquidity take, and possible entry zone. Right now, it's not updated yet, but it will update when market open. You can see here, this is how it will draw this. And I just try to enter on very basic market structure. Like for example, here we have demand, which is an accumulation zone before expansion. Here we have a fair value gap or an imbalance, however you want to call it. So, and we also have the golden zone of the Fibonacci. So I would be happy to be filled on this zone to keep going higher, because on the fundamental side we are protected. Okay, GBPUSD. Okay, on the fundamental side, it's checked. Okay, it's good. It should be good. Should be keep going long. So we have. So if we also have a market structure indicating us that is long, then it would be happy. And then it would happily take the trade to the long side. Of course, this is not a 100% strategy. As you can see here, I have my track record, which is public. You can see it, and I try to track and have a public track record of my performance and of my trades. And you can see that's the equity curve. We have a 64% win rate, which is very healthy if you think about a long-term trading approach. Okay. One thing that I would like to add to show you is that if you have more time, like for example, I have a full-time job, so I do Zoom trading because I want to look at chart the least possible. Okay, I don't want to share the screen all the day because I don't even have the time to do it. But for example, there was a morning in the previous week, so I knew that from my fundamental analysis, EuroCAD was bearish. As you can see, I haven't been able to be filled on my swing strategy. What sometimes I do, what I do is I come to the chart. This is my intraday indicator. Okay, by the way, these are my indicator. I built them. I personally built them to help my trading, and you can find them for free on my community. Okay, you can come to my community, Macroflow indicators, and you can download them for free and install them on your chart and use however you want. Okay, I really put a lot of time on these indicators, so you're glad to use it. Okay, just go here, get access on TradingView, and you can download the indicator. Okay, so what I was saying is, for example, if I know that EuroCAD is bearish because my Macroflow perspective is bearish, but I haven't been able to get filled on my swing strategy, I came to the chart and I used my intraday strategy with the bias in mind. So for example, on EuroCAD, I was looking to short it because it was bearish. And as you can see here, we had the Asia session. We then had a liquidity take on London, which take Asia session liquidity, previous daily high liquidity, and then broke structure with a bearish engulfing. And so I took the short, and it was an amazing trade. So you can also do intraday with this kind of a strategy. The most important things is the fundamental side, because it gives you asset direction and it clears your mind on what you should look, either bearish or bullish. Then you can choose your approach however you want. I have my indicator that tells me the best entry point. You can see I also have the POC, the point of control, the volume analysis, Fibonacci, and that's I've been trading for the last 2 to 3 months, and I've been able to get pretty profitable with it. So hope you enjoy. Stay tuned because I'm going to post more videos and give more free value. So if you're interested, come get my free indicator, and if you're interested to the next step, just join the community and you will have access to the full scoring metrics and have real data analysis on the fundamental movement that will really, really benefit your trading.